Traders and investors, thank you for coming back. Let's take a look at the stock market for December 28, 2021. Today is Tuesday. Let's look at some charts. Looking at the S&P 500. Today, decided to take a break. Still very bullish. Way on top of that high from yesterday. We'll see in the coming sessions if it wants to consolidate up here or retrace a little more before it pushes higher. Let's take a look at the 60-minute chart. What I would expect for the next sessions, 2 to 3, I'll say. If it decides to retrace a little more, I would expect a lot of support. There should be a lot of bulls in this zone between 47.20 and 47.45. I expect a lot of, like I said, a lot of support here, and then a push higher from here. For now, it's just very bullish, extended from the 5-day moving average. So I expect either some price consolidation up here or a small retracement. If you're a bull, nothing to do. It's boring. Just enjoy the ride. If I have to guess, I think our first significant bounce will be a bounce off the 5-day moving average. We'll see. Interesting. Let's now take a look at the Nasdaq 100. Similar pattern to the S&P 500. Looks like it wants to consolidate in this upper range up here. Today it pulled back and found support around that zone of 16,454, which was resistance here and resistance here, and now it's acting as support. Looking at the 60 or the hourly chart, in the next session or two, if it pulls back a little more, I would expect lots of support, lots of bulls in this area between 16,450 and 16,300. By that time, it will probably coincide with the 5-day moving average. If that's the case, I would expect our first significant bounce to be off this 5-day moving average and then push higher from here. That will be very important that once it meets that 5-day moving average, whether it bounces or it gets rejected, that would be very interesting. And will say a lot about this trend. If it loses momentum, then it'll dip below it. If not, it will continue higher. For now, I'm doing nothing. It's not a good idea for me to buy to add to my position here. I'm just gonna wait and see how it reacts with that 5-day moving average. Let's now take a look at the Philadelphia Semiconductor Index. Similar pattern to the other indices, but this one came in a little bit more. Found support around that 3980 level, which was resistance here and here. Now it's acting as support. Same with the other indices. I want to see how it reacts once it meets the 5-day moving average. It's approaching very quickly. Look how steep this thing is. It's rising very quickly, so that will happen either tomorrow or the following day. Looking at the hourly chart, you can more clearly see that level where it found support. So it looks like this one wants to consolidate up here rather than pull back sharply. We'll see in the coming sessions. But by the way, excuse my drawings. I drive very crappy. Let's now take a look at small caps, Russell 2000 ETF, IWM. Today, it tried to push higher above these moving averages, the 100 and the 200. but it found resistance around the 226 level. If you remember yesterday, I mentioned that it would find lots of resistance around this area between 228 and 226. Didn't even really make it to that area. Now is coming down. If it really wants to keep this momentum going, I'll say it needs to stay above, say, 221. If not, it'll come down to around 218. Loses that, then it's going to lose its momentum, and I would expect another visit down to these lows down here, or 210, something like that. Looking at the 60-minute chart, talked about this pattern yesterday, that it looks like head and shoulders. That's what it's forming, or a cup and handle. We'll see what happens here. If it wants to pull in a little bit more, or if it really wants to come down more and really make it a shoulder versus a cup. And here's the resistance zone. This will be a war zone between bulls and bears, between 26 to 26 and 28. You see this green box over here? That's lots of resistance. Um, that's a gap. And then on top of that's going to coincide with the 50-day moving average. If it pushes above that, then that will be very bullish. And I will be looking at it closely. Look at the price action above that pivot and look for an entry point. For now, I'm just going to see how this pattern plays out. But this setup is looking interesting. Anyways, that has been my technical analysis for today, December 28, 2021. Thank you very much for watching, and good luck tomorrow. Oh, and by the way, if you guys want me to cover additional indices like the Dow Jones or any popular ETFs, please let me know in the comment section, and I will do that for you guys. Thank you once again.